Don't just waste your money and buy the latest iPhone 16s.
See, if you're automatically chasing the latest models like the iPhone 16s, then you're probably wasting a lot of your hard-earned money. And in this video today, I'm going to give you 7 compelling reasons as to why you should reconsider your annual upgrades. Now imagine with me, you've been upgrading your phone for the last 4 years with the iPhone Pro Max. The latest versions of it, the 13, 14, 15, and of course now the 16. Each new model brings some minor updates. Updates to things like the display, the speakers, the camera of course, and improved battery and some extra features, right? But what if you held on to the iPhone 13 Pro Max and just held on to the difference? See, you'd have about $3,300 in cash now to actually be able to put towards dedicated devices that are more appropriately served for those tasks. Number one, of course, we're going to dive into it hard. Camera. See, many of us will say that we need the better, higher quality camera from the latest phone so that I can take the best pictures and videos possible. And trust me, I totally get that one. I am a father of 3 beautiful kiddos. I'm in that boat. But in today's world, we have things like the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which has a 1-inch sensor, is about $520, I think as a standalone, and $870 as the blogging combo. But my argument here is that if you truly felt like you needed to have the highest quality photos and videos, then this would be a much better alternative, being that it actually gave you higher quality images. I mean, the closest thing to DSLR that you can put in your pocket out there. Now, a lot of the smartphones today do have very fancy software, hardware compatibility, fusion stuff that they're doing, but it'll never get to that point of getting to the crisp detail that you get from a breathtaking photo that you hang on a wall. And somehow that brings me to my next argument, and that is communication and the basic functions of your smartphone to begin with. Now, the next one's really interesting to me because phones are limited to the companies that are willing to partner with them, and typically you would use your smartphone for things like phone calls, FaceTimes, text messages. But some of the newer phones like the iPhone 14s come with specific features like emergency crash detection and SOS satellite phone connection. That's pretty life-changing and is honestly like the thing that we even bother buying a smartphone for. So in the case of this argument, I could see people wanting to upgrade to something like the iPhone 14 or any of the newer models, as they all have those features within them, at least with the Apple products, the iPhones. Beyond that, the iPhone 13 Pro Max works just fine so far with all the categories that we've mentioned. And I know for a fact some of you out there are gamers and love to play video games on your phone. I am one of those people. And the gaming industry as a whole is not slowing down anytime soon, and many of these companies, Apple included, are really locking in on what's happening in the gaming industry. But if this is your only reason or your main reason for even upgrading your phone is to be able to play more phone games, you're honestly missing out on a whole world of gaming opportunities, unless you're like a pro Pokemon Go player. And with the original amount of $3,300 that we had mentioned earlier, you could actually set yourself up with a really good computer, gaming PC, a gaming console, even, heck, a really good camera alongside that as well. And this is where I start to think to myself like, okay, well, what about like longevity? Like, what's my future proofing on this? Because I did mention future proofing just for a brief second at the beginning there. And typically for most iPhones, you get about 3 to 5 years of software updates for security patches and a few other things, like the very controversial case of the battery preservation update. But keep in mind, many of the dedicated products that I did mention so far, like the gaming consoles, the gaming PC, get about 7 to 10 years worth of software updates, which is really huge when it comes to future proofing. But other things like cameras, like say the DJI or the Canons, would probably get more like 3 to 5 years as well. So pretty comparable in that area. And I know when it comes to a lot of this stuff, a lot of people are going to be looking at the whole entire way of how it feels and how it looks aesthetically. Don't even get me started on iPhone aesthetics, okay? Look, I know a lot of you buy the latest and greatest phones because you want to be able to flex on everyone else around you. You might even have an unbiased conscience about it, that you're unconsciously aware of the fact that you buy the latest phone because it's a status symbol to you. It makes you feel good about yourself that you have the latest smartphone. I don't mean to call you out. I'm also doing it. I've done it. And I am guilty of it. So don't feel like you're alone in this boat. I'm sharing some facts here, okay? But honestly, I do want to encourage all of you, myself included, to challenge that norm and refuse the beast that is known as consumerism. But I digress. It will not satisfy the desire that is deep within you to actually fulfill the things that you are trying to accomplish in your life's journey. That is really what you're looking for in this latest and greatest device. And some of you might even say, well, it's really convenient, Keli'i. It's convenient to just have my smartphone that is a camera, is a computer, does the phone calls, the text messages, has all the softwares I need to be able to edit all those things and put them all together and all the other stuff. And that's where my next point comes into play, in convenience. And keep in mind, are we really talking about convenience when we're actually owning these devices and getting these latest and greatest models? Is it for the purpose of convenience, or is it for another word known as dependence? And I truly believe that you're wasting your hard-earned money on the latest iPhone 16s if you haven't taken the time to reflect on what it's truly going to cost you. Now you can let me know in the comments section if you hated this video and me calling you out on this stuff, or if it's compelled you to buy the iPhone 16s, or even compelled you to the next step in your amazing journey. And for some reason YouTube thinks you might like this video over here, feel free to click on it and over there. This is Keli'i with Ohana Reviews, from my Ohana to yours. Mahalo and aloha. Chihi.